Elite Pro Services presents Behind the Pipes. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Elite Pro Services Behind the Pipes, and today I have my friend Dom here. Do you like Dom or Dominique, or how do you? What's your preference? I know Dom's just easy.
Yeah, Dom is typically just easiest. I think the industry really knows me as just Dom.
Do you think it's hard for people to say Dominique on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think sometimes people get it confused with Dominic.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's Dominique. So I just say Dom.
I always have this weird thing of like people's like full names in comparison to as a kid, I thought Steve was a different name than Steven. So people are like, "Hey, Steve." I'm like, "Excuse me? Who are you talking to, bro?" So that was always my weird thing. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this question: if you could have if you could have any fictional character be your best friend, who would it be? Or what's the most unusual thing you've ever collected? I might ask you both, but let's go with the one that you choose.
Okay. Actually, I have one for both, if we want to go down that route. But
Let's go down that route.
if I had to pick a fictional character that I would be best friends with,
Best friends.
honestly, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd right now.
Nerd up, dude.
But low key, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So
Which one?
I mean, I love all of them.
Oh, that's what we
What's
all
funny is
say.
that I didn't actually watch them until I think it was like my 31st birthday. My best friend took me to Universal Studios and like she's like, "You have to watch the movies. They're so good." I'm like, "Ugh,
Kinda
those
makes
are
sense.
so like dorky. I don't want to watch those." And then I remember popping in the first DVD, and yes, I said DVD. And like from then on, I was hooked. And truth be told, like it's still one of the like series that if I'm super like hungover or I'm bored or like I just want to like rot on the couch for a day, like I'll watch all four of them.
That's insane, dude. I guess I could say I have the same thing with like Lord of the Rings. That's my nerd. If I was a nerd of all nerds, Lord of the Rings.
Truth be
buddy.
told, I've never seen any of the Lord.
Well, likewise, I've never even watched Harry Potter. Like if it's on and I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's like it's on and then I'm like, oh, what am I watching? 15 minutes go by. I'm like, oh,
It's so good.
I can't. I feel like I'm watching a child's movie.
Well, we should like maybe switch. Like we'll make it a goal where like I'll start with the first Lord of the Rings and like
Book
you can
reports?
just yeah.
No. No chance. No way. No way.
Okay, like-
we said, writing things. No way.
Maybe
dude.
it's not a book report. Maybe we just check in. I'm like, hey, so what do you think of the first movie? Do you want to keep going?
I thought after 15 minutes I should stop watching this, but I watched 25 minutes, and I thought the same thing. Anyways, I have Dom here, business development associate with Elite Pro Services. You came from the multifamily world, right?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
Almost 2 decades.
2 decades. What did you do?
So I started where everyone else starts. I was a leasing consultant, and then I just kind of moved up the chain of command. And when I finished, I was business development for my last property management company. But I've also been in regional manager positions, property manager. I've literally worked almost every role.
So with that being said, was that like something you kind of just fell into when it was that job, or was it something you were like, I think I like to do this. I think I live in apartment management. I live in apartments, things like that. Was that?
So I actually came from and still have my license. It's still active. Cosmetology. So I was doing
okay.
hair.
Okay.
I just moved into an apartment, my first apartment. The recession kind of hit, and cosmetology people were kind of, extending out services further and further due to just trying to cut expenses.
Right.
And so I just walked into the leasing office and was like, hey, are you guys hiring?
How do I do this?
Yeah, and it made sense at the time. I needed something that was a little bit more reliable. I needed, health coverage and something that was more stable and could offer, more perks to the job than kind of being off on my own. And that's how I started. And here we are, almost 2 decades later.
That's kind of wild though. Like that's always my interest, because I went from my first job was working at Skateland. And I was
Skateland. Wow, that is taking it back.
I was a cool guy back then. Do you know how many I hit on those skates? I know how to check a skate. 8 points of contact, dude. I know everything. And then I thought the career life was gonna be Skateland. When you're in it, you think that's where it's gonna go. This is my life from here on out. And you're like 2 years in, you're like, I can't do this beyond high school. This doesn't. I can't make $9 an hour for the rest of my life. This sucks. But was that like, I guess cosmetology? Like, what was the goal with that? Like, you went to school, you got certified, you
Hmm.
got all these things. What was the big goal for that specifically?
Honestly, to one day own my own salon.
Okay.
Kind of hair and makeup was something that I was always into. Um, I, I think through growing up, right? I remember like literally being a child, probably 5,
Mm.
and I used to make my grandma like hang her head over the back of the couch, and I would like pretend like she was in the washing
Yeah,
bowl.
yeah.
So it was something that I was just always interested in, and what I learned very quickly is, you have to build your own book of business,
Mhm.
right? Which is can be a little bit challenging when you're 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, kind of going into the industry. And at the time, I kind of came on as an apprentice and then I got my own chair. And the woman that I was working under moved her business from Scottsdale to Glendale.
Mm.
So it was like that coupled with the recession was just,
Yeah.
it
Too
just
much.
wasn't going to work out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
So,
much. That's when it kind of sucks. It's like your dream just like almost gets ripped away from you.
yeah.
Like there are other opportunities, I'm sure, but you're like, I gotta be smarter about this.
Yeah.
With you coming over from the multifamily industry into our end of the things, why did you choose Elite Pro Services?
Yeah.
Why were we the option?
So I met, as we all know, Mr. Ryan Carroll.
It's hard to not meet the guy that's taller than everyone else, but
Yeah, taller and louder.
yeah.
Um, I met him a couple of years ago. We just hit it off. Obviously, he has like a very unique personality, right? I think a lot of people just I gravitate towards him because he's funny and he's
Yeah.
like very relatable.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of followed him in his like professional journey too, right? He obviously had made a switch, and I used him uh, several different times. And the one thing that had stood out to me when he came to Elite was that I didn't have to worry about when you guys were going to come out.
Mhm.
I didn't have to worry about whether or not the technicians that came out were going to do a great job or not. Like
Right.
I
Right.
just had trust in the company. And just meeting, when he brought on Jen and meeting Jen and like slowly getting to meet like some of the techs and other people that have worked with Elite, like
Right.
there wasn't anything negative that I could have said or that I ever heard come out of anyone else's mouth. So when I made the switch from the PM side to the vendor support side, it was very easy for me to pick Elite.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in the industry for as long as I had, I could have reached out to many other contacts.
Sure. Absolutely.
But there is something about what David is doing here with this company and its growth and the trajectory and the way that he teaches not only his employees but all of his clients and all of the communities. Like it's truly I feel like it sets us apart from everybody else that's in the
Yeah.
industry that offers either the same or similar services as us.
Right. I made the move from a cellular company. I was sales rep, right? And I thought, I just need something different. I need to get out of this. And one of the other employees that used to work here, I've known her for years. She worked with me at T-Mobile, and one of the things she was like, "Yeah, if you come over, it's pretty chill. I mean, we get our jobs done, but the environment here is just different.
Yeah.
There's something different about it." And she couldn't put her finger on it. I still to this day can't put my finger on it. I have my description of what David's like, and I think David's he's silent, but he knows where to pull the triggers, right? He knows
Yes.
exactly what to do. And what's funny about like I say this in every one of them. David is one of these guys that is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour in his mind,
Yes.
and you can tell when he's thinking.
Yes, it's so funny. I was just talking about this the other day, and I'm like, you can tell that the man's brain is always on. It's
Yeah.
almost like the cartoon like character where you can see like the bubbles.
Yeah.
And like the bubble is always walking around with David, and you can see his mind working, and he's trying to navigate this whole thing and how do we make it better and what do
Right.
we do next. And you're right, like being here, the energy is different, right?
Mhm.
Like every single person truly brings something different to the team, and we all have very different personalities, and yet it still gels, and it jives and it still works efficiently and smoothly every single day.
I liked when we were at the event on Friday. David wasn't in the middle of the pack and kind of creating his own like I need to touch everybody. It was just he let you guys do all that. He let you guys do all the. He doesn't need to be center of attention. He does, but he knows that he is. We are orbiting around David like the sun. So, that's a big shout out to David and just himself
Agreed.
because David's come from a wild youth time to get to this point where he's worked really hard to get to this, and we're all kind of like, we get it.
Yeah.
We all want to be a part of this thing. So whatever this thing is, it's growing, it's developing, it's becoming something such an awesome environment that I tell everybody, hey bro, it's just like a family.
Yeah.
But the same thing as a family, you don't treat your family like dirt, so they'll treat you right. So like, David, shout out to David big time because he's the one that's throwing this whole thing together. When you came over to Elite and in this new position, business development, what are some of the challenges you faced going back out and having to deal with the PM side of it?
I think at first I was super nervous because I knew that there was going to be a lot of questions, right?
Sure.
Like there are some people that make the transition and they last there for just a little bit and then they go back.
Right.
So I think that was probably my biggest challenge or fear when I first started doing this was, oh my gosh, like how am I going to take all of the questions? And then you kind of go through like a little bit of self-doubt and you're like, oh gosh, are they going to think that like I just couldn't cut it or, all of those things. And you kind of have to push them out of your way. And you're like, honestly, at the end of this, it's just tapping into the relationships that you already know. I know how to speak their language.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing that I think kind of sets me apart is on our business development team. I am the only one that's worked on that side from the admin point of view, right?
An extensive period of time too.
Yeah. So for me, like I just go in and I speak to that. And I'm like, hey, I've been in your shoes. I don't want to take up a ton of your time. I do want to talk to you about our services where we can lean in and help you. I also just want you to know, like, communication is huge for me. So anytime that you're setting up appointments or tickets through me, know that I track them from the moment that you reach out to me until they're completed. And even then I track, like if your system requires a PO, I make sure that I get the PO number for you and I'm tracking it through there and getting it out. And then once it's out to you, your invoice, receiving the funds back from us, because I do understand like the day-to-day operations and how crazy stuff is on site, right? You've got 5 million residents yelling at you about rent, and then all of a sudden you've got a leak in apartment 112, and you've got an irrigation leak over here, and this resident's upset with that resident because they're walking too loudly upstairs, and so I get it.
Working on that side before, I've done it. I was in the maintenance department, and sometimes you get like some of the craziest requests that come in. There's a ticking in my house. Okay, we go in and it's like, that's your TV. Like I don't know how to change that. That's your TV ticking. Or like, did you know that this light is different from that light? And you're looking at them like they're the exact same thing.
Light,
I'll change both of them, and then they'll be like, now they look the other way. I'm like, I think you're like blind in one eye. I think there's it's a you thing. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
like I've seen some of the craziest things on that sense. So I understand how their brain is working, and then for us to come and try and step in and do like it's just like trying to juggle, honestly trying to juggle bowling balls because everything is just so heavy and you're trying to do your best. But for them to have us on their side during that process and you to know specifically what they need, and it probably is just like, oh, that's so much easier. I wish everybody would do this type of thing. You know what I mean? So I do think that relationship building is a huge part of what you're doing, and then just knowing that specific side of it is just that much better. With that being said, what are some of the goals that you've set over the last few months that you've been with us? Like maybe 1 year, maybe 6 months, whatever your goals are. What are some of those things?
Obviously I want to grow our portfolio, right? Like we want to grow our book of business. But truth be told, like I foresee myself being with Elite for a long time.
Yeah.
I would love to transition into different departments, right? Like I've only at this point known this role.
Yeah.
However, if you ask me where David intends to take this, where it's going to be in 5 years, I think it's going to be massive, right? Like I think that the potential for growth or like wanting to move into different positions is going to be there. So to be honest with you, like I'm loving this role right now. However, as the company continues to grow, I want to grow with it.
Yeah.
And working with David and Aston and like figuring out like if there's a need for me somewhere else, like I 1,000% am here for the long-term plan.
Yeah.
And so I will be wherever and like wherever that they need me and they feel like I'm most beneficial to the team.
Sure. That's a good mentality anyways. Like when I first came on, it was plumbing and AC, and then there was an office. Then there was plumbing AC, and then we had a mechanical team for a little while. Then it was plumbing AC. Like they keep branching out and making new opportunities for people, and that's what I like. It's like we're not just sticking to the bread and butter. We want the extras on the side. We need the extras. So you having that mentality is a huge part. And I'm sure if you haven't already told him, if David hears that, that's also like just knowing that his teammates are willing to, go do whatever they need. That's a big deal. So how would you measure your success as of this part? Like, are you doing what you think you should be doing, or is there more that you could do, or like where do you feel as far as your self-assessment?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm my own worst critic sometimes.
Sure. Who isn't, right?
But I do think, and I will speak to Jen and Ryan, right? Like there are days where sometimes I'll be like, damn, like I really need to like reach out to more people today. And Jen will be like, hey man, sometimes some days are better than others. Like you gotta, you're still doing great. And I think that sometimes I forget that like I am newer to this side of it. Right. Yeah. But my biggest thing is like just making sure that this thing works. And like, I want everyone to know how great we are, because there are other companies that aren't as good.
Okay.
I'll just say that, right? And I know them, and some people do, and making sure that the message is like, we may not always be the cheapest, but
quality.
Great work isn't cheap.
Yeah.
And cheap work isn't great. So,
absolutely.
But I think that, I'm super thankful for the amount of time that I've spent in multifamily, because I do think that it's helped contribute to me being able to kind of get into this role and really start like jogging, and I feel like I'm starting to run.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see, like, I think today's the 20, tomorrow will be my 90 days.
I made the cut.
So I'm excited to see like in 90 more days where I'm at.
Okay. And honestly, that's the best assessment you could have given yourself, is finding out that I don't have to be up here right now. I can still be down here learning the process, but you have all that knowledge. So I'm sure you want to be number one. You want a gold star every single day. That's the way it works.
We all.
I give myself gold stars every day. I don't want to show anybody, but I have 45 gold stars on the wall, just so I won't show.
You're like the old school, like chores.
Yeah. on Mondays I have 5 stars. Tuesdays 1 star typically is the day. But yeah, that's the best assessment you can give yourself, is just like, I understand that I'm still brand new. 90 days in is like in any job. It doesn't matter if you've been in the industry a long time. You still got to learn the new rules and new process and all that stuff. So
yeah, and we've been rolling out like stuff consistently. I think that is only gonna make us more efficient, more organized, as a whole. So it's all, for me, it's about celebrating the little wins here and there, the big wins, and then of course like acknowledging and accepting the losses too.
Yeah,
because the job comes with both.
Sometimes you gotta lose. Even Michael Jordan lost. Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Yes, of course.
Okay, just want to make sure. So let's transition into some personal stuff. I heard you're a golfer.
No.
I heard you love ping pong.
From what you do know about my personality, could you see me golfing or having the patience to golf?
No, but it's just so funny because people go, golf? Well, I don't golf. I'm like, dude, you look like a golfer. Or ping pong, or like just the obscure ones. Have you seen ESPN The Ocho?
Yes.
Did you know it's a real thing?
No, I didn't know it was a real thing. I thought that just came from dodgeball.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing, and they have some of the most obscure. Like, I don't want to cross over and offend anybody, but they have like there's a Japanese TV shows that measures like somebody spitting into a cup. And it's how fast you can fill it up to a certain.
Ew.
Like, they have that stuff on that channel, and I was like, "This is no way. This is real." And I wanted to talk. I really want to talk to people about it, but like people do the same thing. Ew, dude. Or like they have one that's like it's just all gross stuff. There's one that's like they're farting to blow up a
What?
balloon. Like there's midget racing. Little people racing. Sorry, little people racing. It's so unreal that I didn't know that any of these things are real, but they are legitimately ESPN the 8th Show. But legitimately, you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
I have 3 dogs.
3 dogs.
I do. I have a Shih Tzu, a Maltese Yorkie, and then last year I got a miniature Australian Shepherd.
So you have all little dogs.
Yes. Which is funny because I grew up with all big dogs. Like growing up, my
Okay.
family, we had Dobermans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are big dogs.
Yeah.
Why did you get small dogs? It's just easier?
So my first dog I inherited from my girlfriend Tamara. She loves small dogs. I've never been a small dog person. She called me one day crying. She went to a Puppies in Love. She spent like $2,500 on this dog. She comes home. Her husband's like, absolutely not. No more dogs. Take the dog back. So
Same.
she couldn't do it. She called me and she's like, do you want a dog? Do you want a dog? So I take the dog. I'm living in an apartment.
Mhm.
Mind you, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's just me. Like
Yeah.
they have this little tiny foo-foo dog is what I used to call him, right? Because they were just
first dog?
not, I grew up with Dobermans. Like, what the hell, a Doberman would eat this as a snack.
Yeah, this is what I feed those dogs.
And so Charlie was my first dog. And you know what's so crazy is honestly, he truly made me grow up. Like he humbled me. Yeah, it was the first time having a dog all on my own.
With the responsibility, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then I ended up purchasing my first house because I felt so bad for him that we were in an apartment. I needed to give him a yard. And so I purchased my first house.
You
and
bought a house
got
because of a dog?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And then when I purchased the house to give him a yard, I had to get him a friend
Oh,
because
yeah,
then,
yeah.
now he's got this
He's
big
got a
house
big
with a
yard.
yard and he's lonely.
And no friends. All he's got is 4 rooms he can roam around in and a yard. All of a sudden, he's lonely in his giant place. Continue.
Yeah, yeah. And then Blue, I just recently got. I don't know, shepherds. I've always heard like really great things. Or Aussies. Did I say he was a shepherd? He's an Australian shepherd.
Yeah.
I've always heard really, really great things. Knowing that I already had 2 smaller dogs, adding like a medium to large size dog was just not an option, especially because now Charlie, my oldest, is approaching 9, right?
Okay.
So I wanted to give him something that was small enough that he could play with until he was
Old.
Yeah. Enough.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And he sometimes does get a little grumpy with.
So how big is the Australian?
He's like 20. I'd say he's probably like 24 inches tall. He weighs like 24 pounds. He's
Interesting, because I know my brother had an Australian Shepherd, but they were fairly decent sized dogs because they're cattle dogs. They're runners. But I can't imagine what the smaller one looks like. He just probably looks like a puppy all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's also he's a psycho.
So there's Charlie, Blue, and
Penny.
Did you go off of like people you know when you got those names?
So
names are interesting to me.
Yeah. So Charlie, I named at the time when I inherited Charlie. I was watching Lost. Did you ever watch Lost?
I didn't.
Oh, so good.
No.
But Charlie was one of my favorite characters on the show.
Okay.
So I named him Charlie. Penny, I named my grandma and I were super, super close growing up. Before she passed away, she told our entire family that she would leave pennies behind to let us know that she was around.
Gotcha.
And the day that I went to go pick up Penny, I went to put her in the car and a penny fell out of the seat of my car onto the ground. And I picked it up and I was like, okay, well, her name's going to be Penny.
That's it. Yeah.
And Blue is named Blue because he has bright blue eyes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just association. I never watched Lost. I know this is off topic, but I never watched Lost because I'm not one of those guys that goes and watches a TV show while it's on air.
Oh no! So I didn't. That's not my vibe either.
I can't.
But I there's like so many seasons of them, right? And
What,
so
is it 10?
there's a ton. But I didn't either because I like to, keep going.
Yeah, I don't want to stop.
I don't like to wait.
7 days? No, I did.
Yeah.
You know what show I watch now? Seinfeld.
Oh, such a great show.
Isn't it interesting as you become 40 years old? I'm 40. I'm not going to say your age, but
Sorry, I'm going to be 40. You can say it.
You watch these shows now and you're like, I get it, dude. I freaking get it, man. And then you're like, why am I associating myself with a show from the 90s when it's totally different, but I still understand where you're coming from, bro? Dang it. I am getting old.
Kramer's still one of the best characters ever invented on TV. Argue with me on that one, dude. He so animated.
I think he's probably that character is one of the funnest ones for sure. But like it just is like, like when something hits him, he has to visually like,
Yes, it's always like when he goes
whatever sound he makes. Yeah, dude. I watch it. I've probably seen the entire series 7, maybe 8 times now. And I watch it, and like sometimes it's just like when it's on when I'm getting ready in the morning to come to work or whatever. But I'm like paying attention to it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like when they were lost in the parking garage, why? Like you don't remember, but they're like, we got to write it down. I'm like, why didn't you take a picture? I'm like, they don't have phones. They had to write it down. So like all these things are like, I get it now, dude. I get it. The struggle.
So many great episodes. Every Christmas, I always watch the Festivus episode. Merry Festivus.
The Feet of Strength, the whole thing. Oh, that one is a good one. And then which one was I just watching the other day? Oh, when they were waiting in the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yes.
And they have to they keep going up to how much longer? Oh, 10 minutes, okay. And George is trying to make a phone call, and then Jerry's trying to figure out who this lady is. It's a whole thing. We're talking about Seinfeld on this.
I know. I was going to say, I don't think any woman, though, would ever argue
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a brand new show. It's brand new on Netflix. You like to travel. Where have you been?
So recently I was just in Italy. Mm-hmm. My brother and his, now wife, they got married in Italy, and I actually officiated their wedding. It's first time traveling overseas.
Really? Okay.
The flight is long.
How long is that flight?
I think so. We flew from here to Paris, and I think that was 11 hours. And then Paris to Italy was, I think, another 2 hours. Yeah.
Do you get like a comfy seat, or are you in like?
So it's just like flying like domestically, right? Like you have 3 tiers. You have first class, which is the most expensive. Yeah. Then you have like the middle class, which was how we flew on the way up there. And then you have economy. And that was just because I knew like I already get a little weird about, being like a little claustrophobic. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I can't like lean back, like how am I going to sleep? This is not going to be cool. So we did like the middle seats, and I was super grateful. Last minute on the way back, we were able to upgrade to first class for like a very, very small fee. And let me tell you, it spoiled the hell out of me. And I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to fly any other way. Like being able to lay all the way down, and the food and the service, it's just... The food.
The food alone.
The food alone was. I had short ribs and mashed potatoes with carrots and asparagus.
Dang it, dude!
And they've had the bourbon and sodas flowing like wine in California. I don't know, in Italy, I guess. It was so good.
I've never flown first class. I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah,
because you can't. I mean, you can't just fly from here to like L.A. first class, can you?
I think you can, depending on the airline, but also for me, I'd be like, such a waste of money.
45 minutes, yeah. I don't want to go from here to Vegas. The only time I ever go anywhere is like Florida. I went to Boston. Boston was cool. But we go to Florida now because my oldest son lives there. And, that's the only time I'll ever fly anywhere that I have enough time to like really
enjoy
the flight.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I don't want to spoil myself, because then I'll never want to go sit with the peasants again. I don't want to sit with those dirty people. I'm dirty people. My issue is like my shoulders are big, so like I have no elbow room. I usually like have to use the tray to like sit and like be small. I'm not small by any means. I've never been small my whole life. Yeah. So I have to like adjust.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that you'd be super comfortable in it.
I hate flying. I hate traveling. I hate the travel part of things.
Yeah.
I don't like that part of it. I don't mind being places.
Yeah.
It's just the like hassle of traveling. Where's your favorite place to go though? Otherwise, Italy's cool, whatever.
Yeah, Italy was
Talk about
cool. Definitely would go back. But let's see, what is my favorite? Sedona, honestly.
That's like a road trip,
I
dude.
know.
I know.
But I mean, also being a native of Arizona, it is kind of wild to see Sedona through all of its growth.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like
100%.
growing up, going to Sedona is very different than going to Sedona now at
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
But I just still think it's like, it's so breathtaking. It's so beautiful. Like, where can you really like get this type of scenery? And I just love that like the whole town is very like, kind of like hippie,
Yeah.
good vibes, crystals.
I mean, I like that they've upgraded it, but there's still a lot of things that aren't. They
Mhm.
kept the nostalgia vibe of Sedona, and that's what I like about Sedona.
Yeah.
I like going up there and like you still see cabin housing and you
Yeah.
know, the all the shopping centers are still the wood pillars and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I still think that's really cool.
Plus, it's like cool because you can go shopping and you can go for a hike, and it's, you're not dying like here when
Yeah.
you want to go hiking on Camelback, and you can only do it in the fall.
I think Sedona, Arizona is such a unique place, and this is why I'll never leave Arizona. You can go 3 hours, go see snow
Yeah.
when it's time. You can come back to the valley and just have a sweater on. You can go up north and see some of the biggest trees in the world. You can see the Grand Canyon within a 4-hour drive. You can go to Sedona if you want to just get out of the city and be slow. Prescott, Payson, whatever. It's one of the few places in the world that you can go and see everything you want within a drive.
Yeah. It's crazy that you say that. I'm like, being a native, like I guess I've never really thought about that, but it's
Yeah.
so true. We're probably one of the only states where you can do that. You have like choices.
Yeah. Yeah. You have desert, you have forest, you have snow if you want to go skiing.
Yeah.
You can go to lakes. We have lakes everywhere, it seems like, if you want to do whatever you do on a lake, whatever that is. I don't do lakes.
You don't
boats,
do lakes?
I feel weird with boats, dude. Like I get all sick.
You get all seasick.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the river. Like recently, the last couple of years, I've really taken up paddleboarding, and
Yeah.
like we'll load up the paddleboards and
a whole
go
thing.
down. But it's so good. It doesn't have to be a whole thing.
No, not like the it's like a thing. Like people are into
yeah.
it now.
Oh yeah.
It's a huge like
So
industry now.
funny enough, 2 weekends ago, so I bought Charlie and Blue life vests
Okay.
because I wanted to start taking them paddleboarding.
Sure.
Penny is like my little worry ward. So like you take her out of the house and she's like having a panic attack. So it really wasn't her vibe. But I started with Charlie and I took him out 2 weeks ago, and oh my gosh, he's such an outdoorsman. Like I knew he was gonna love it because whenever we go camping, like
Yeah.
Charlie is a cream and like light tan color. So he's
Okay.
like very, very light.
Mhm.
And whenever we go camping, like he comes back and he is like the color of his
He's
like,
dirty as
he just roams around all day with his little air tag on and until it's time to eat. And like we always go camping with some really good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And we typically always will do like carne asada for at least one of the meals. And you will always catch Charlie like underneath, like licking up all of the grease strippings from like the meat. So
that
he
doesn't
just
help.
comes back and he is just the ugly. He's comes back with a face only a mother can love. We'll just say that.
Why are you so ugly right now?
He is.
What's wrong with you? You grew up in Arizona where?
So I was born in Mesa.
Okay.
And then I primarily grew up like in North Phoenix.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
Chaparral.
Chaparral. I'm from Arizona too. I was born in Safford, Arizona.
Safford.
hmm
Isn't that like a drive? Kind of like it's kind of really more or less like a drive-through town, right? I've driven through there.
Safford is a little bit bigger of a town. It's, I'd say, if I'm comparing it, it's probably about the size of Maricopa.
Oh, okay.
Now. But like Safford, Thatcher are all one city type, but they are divided. And then where I grew up, because I was born in Safford, and there's no hospital where I'm from, Clifton, Morenci, Arizona is like one. It's the same town, just the same, but it's like separated by like a hill, and it's there's only 3,500 people there.
Oh, dang.
Super small. So I am a native, but then I went to school at Chandler High.
Oh,
We
okay.
moved out here, so it was pretty cool.
Very familiar with Chandler High.
When you did the officiating, was that cool to you? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, well, as you know, coming even just to the podcast. I was so nervous. So imagine me, right? This is obviously the first time I've ever officiated.
Yeah.
And they had a very large wedding. I mean, for it to be in Italy and the both of them live in California, the wedding had over 100 people that were
Wow.
there.
Okay. Yeah. That traveled. That's crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And so, I thought I was like holding it together really well until my brother, gets down there, and then it's always that moment, right, where the bride walks out and my brother just starts crying. And my brother's not typically a very emotional
Yeah.
person. And so then I can feel the tears and I'm like trying to overly blink so that I don't ruin my makeup. And then I look to my mother and my mother is crying and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, focus on something else, focus on something else. But I pulled it together. I kind of made a joke to my brother, like, when she got down there and I'm like, you already broke our first promise, which was that neither one of us were going to cry. But I was super, super shocked with myself that I was able to like reel it in.
Yeah.
And then be able to get through the entire thing without, being emotional and
Yeah.
just being there for the both of them and like being a part of that. So
did you make it funny?
A little bit.
But it was more of
Yeah.
a serious wedding?
Yeah, it was kind of more of a serious wedding. Her family's pretty traditional. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done it. I am ordained, if that's what they want to call it. But I did, my first wedding was my sister-in-law and her husband. And they were like, can you make it funny? I'm like, I'm not a comedian. Like I don't write skits or nothing. But like as I was reading through and I'm like reading and I go, oh, okay, it looks like I'm reading at an atom level. And I go, teh, and they started laughing and everybody kind of like broke. And like people that were crying like looked at me and they were like laughing. And I was like, okay, everybody's pressured like a little bit less off me. So then I started reading through it. Like I kind of made it as funny as I could without like breaking the tradition of marriage or whatever. And then when they were like signing it, I'm like, God, I probably should have brought my certificate. I don't know if this is legal or not. We'll keep going. And everybody's like laughing and whatever. But I was like, anyway, well, you guys are married today. I don't know about tomorrow. So like, it's cool. I think it's a lot of fun to do it. And it's obviously an honor to do it. And then I have another one coming up next November. My cousin, well, here's a story. I have two cousins that are getting married, but they're not related to each other. They're on both sides of the family.
No way.
Somehow they met in the same town, obviously. Well, my cousin Sierra is from California, moved back home. My cousin Matt is from, Clifton, Arizona. They met and they're like, oh yeah, this is my family. Oh, that's my family. And then I show up and then my mom's like, oh, want to hear something weird? I was like, yeah, Matt's your cousin. And Sierra's your cousin. I'm like, ew, you guys are gross. But they have no blood relation, period. But like, I was like, ew, dude, you guys are
That's
nasty.
wild.
Such a wild thing. So they're tying the family back together, but on both sides of the family. It's kind of fun.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool. Well, what else do you want to talk about, or how you feel? You were very nervous. I'm going to tell everybody. Yeah. She was so nervous. She was like, I don't know. I can't do this. And now she's like, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Actually, let's answer that other question.
Oh,
what's the most unusual thing you've ever collected? And it better not be toenails.
Ew. No, actually, it's like literally it's nail stuff. So I told you I've always been into like the beauty industry, right? And when you get your cosmetology license, they do like touch a little on nails, but it's primarily like focused on hair.
Yeah.
And during COVID, I literally started doing my own nails.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm going to sound like such a dork. I have like a whole cart, like when your wife goes to the nail cart and, they like trolley it around and it's just packed full of stuff. And I just keep buying stuff. And like, I don't even have nails on right now, but I just keep buying the stuff. And my girlfriends come over, I do their nails.
Wait.
I collect nail stuff.
Like you have a whole cart plus more?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How many, the colors are endless, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine how many reds there are, blues there are. But how many approximately, how many nail polishes do you have, colors? Upwards of
200 probably. Plus
for what?
Plus I have like a whole just pile of like gems and nail art and specialized paints for like doing designs. Like I'm telling you, I was into it. Foils, piercing stuff. Like
Dang, dude. You should do that black market and start making money on the side. Well, Dom, I appreciate you coming on today. It was a lot of fun, right?
yeah.
We'll have to do it again, obviously. We'll get more time. I'll ask you some more crazy questions. We'll find out more about you. But thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate your time today. If you guys don't know, Dom is the newest part of the team, right? You're the newest member. So we appreciate you coming out and obviously telling us your perspective on both sides of the world and giving us that. Cool?
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.